Hey, Dustin here, Smoking Eagles Rod Shop, and today we're going to be working on my old blue van. What are we doing to the van today? Let me tell you. I've got a car show here in just a few days, and my turn signals, well, they've got issues. Let me show you what we got. So they work, but no clicky clicky. So what happens is, you're driving along, you hit a couple bumps, and everybody thinks you're taking a left. And then you try and fix it, but you put it in the middle, and now they think you're going right. Then when you go to turn it onto the right, you go to turn the wheel, and it falls back off, or it thinks you want to go left again. So they work. It's just a pain in the rear, and I have the guts in the white van out in the yard to fix it. Of course, it's 1250 degrees out with about a 240% humidity today, so it's a perfect day to go lay out there in the van and tear all the guts out of that steering column and try and put them in this one. Now, I've worked on GM steering columns a dozen times or more and tore all the guts out of there and worked on the turn signals and stuff. Never done a Ford before, so this is all going to be brand new for me. Now, I did go out and tear the steering wheel out already of the other van, and I took all the screws out of the guts on the inside of there so I could see kind of what we got to do. I'll take you out there and I'll show you. It's going to get a little in-depth, and I'm hoping we can get this done pretty quick. Now, I'm also going to be replacing this dash pad in another video, so that's going to work out really well for me because I can pull this steering wheel off, and that'll make getting all this dash stuff a lot easier because these dash pads are a lot harder to get out than I thought. So if you need to change the dash pad in your old Ford Econoline van, keep your eyes out for that video because I'm sure it's probably up now or it will be very, very soon because I'm recording it today while I'm recording this video. Kind of like double teaming it here. And yeah, let's go out to the white van and I'll show you kind of what we're working with here. It's interesting. So here we are out here at the white van, and it is just so hot out here. I'm sweating already. I've been out here for 5 seconds. Now my camera's starting to like, it's like sweating already. It's insane out here. Yeah, you know it's hot when your camera's sweating. Anyway, let me show you what we got. So I've got the steering wheel off of this. I got the center nut off, blah, 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 blah. There's a handful of screws that go to this, and your turn signal arm just unscrews. You've got all these wires, and for some reason, Ford didn't want to put a plug up here so you could unplug this whole unit and replace it. So what they did is these wires run right up through the column. They come down here to this plug, and then they swing around and they plug in up here into the harness. So this obviously won't fit up through the steering column. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take a photo of where every single one of these wires plug into this. Then I'm going to have to de-wire this plug. And then I'm going to pull all these wires all the way up through the steering column and then fish them down through the other steering column and plug them back into this and then plug it into our harness. And we should be good then. So this is coming apart a little easier than I thought it would, but exact concept I was thinking. There's a little tab here and there's a little hole here, and I just took a little pick and I just started working on that. This was stuck down in here. That kind of holds everything in there. And I just kind of moved those picks out of, or those little tabs out of the way, used my pick and started working it up out of there. Got it completely pulled out, nice and easy. That worked awesome. And then as you can see, there's like a little plastic tab here on the side of my wires. So all you've got to do is grab the wire that you want. I push it in a little bit so I can get my little pick in here, pull that completely over like that. And it releases your wire, and you can just slide it right out of there. Now I'm just gonna rinse and repeat to get all the wires out of here, and then hopefully I can pull this whole bundle of wires up out of here without destroying them, and then take this stuff inside because it is hot, boys. Whew, I'm glad to be out of that heat. I'm telling you, it is freaking hot out there. Now, that was an absolute epic success. Everything came apart just like I wanted it to. I even got the little rubber boot out of inside the steering column. It's pretty stiff. Yeah, fishing the wires back down through that steering column is going to be the hardest part because they don't want to fit, let me tell you. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. This is dirty, so I'm going to clean this all up and get it all nice and ready to rock and roll when we get the other steering column apart. But that is my next task. I need to pull this steering wheel out of this van, and it's in a lot better shape than the other van's steering wheel, which is odd because everything else in that other van is like new compared to what was in this van. But the center plastic piece broke on the other van, and it's like clipped in there somehow. So I need to be very, very careful with this van and try and get mine out without breaking it. I'm not a huge fan of the factory steering wheel, but I don't like aftermarket steering wheels, so I'd like to keep the factory steering wheel in it and maybe make our own custom horn button someday, somehow. Maybe that'll be a cool video for later. But anyway, also, don't make fun of my little workbench here. As you can see, all my other workbenches are completely covered with junk. This is a pretty crazy part of the year for us here at the shop because we got like event after event after event. I'm trying to make all kinds of content for you guys, and I just haven't had time to clean the shop yet. So I got stuff literally everywhere. I could make 10 videos just cleaning my shop if I made shop cleaning videos, but I don't. So one of these days I'll get out here and I'll just spend like 5 days cleaning. All right, so in the back of the steering wheel, you've got two little baby Phillips screws. This one here I couldn't quite get onto because the steering wheel is actually shrunken, and so the screw's hard to get to. This one's probably going to be the same way. Yep, there it is. There, I got the screwdriver on it. Okay, we got that. So I got both our screws out. Now, we've got to pull this out very, very carefully so we don't break anything. And mine's in really good shape compared to the other one. It came out all in one piece, just like that. So now, let me get us a light up here. So now we've got this plug here we need to unhook, and then we've got a plug here, and then there's a plug right down in here that needs to be unplugged. So I'm going to unplug these. There's one. The black and the yellow goes over on this side. That has a little tab on it for the horn, and the horn in this works, so I don't want to screw anything up. And then we've got this plug right here that just pulls off just like that, and now we've got our whole center. Like I said, this one's pretty gross. I'm going to see if I can clean it up. I'd like to kind of delete this here, and I have this little Ford emblem here, so maybe I can glue that in there just to make it good enough for now. Maybe paint this thing or something to get it, because I mean, look at it, it's just all fungusy and gross. Maybe we could, I don't know, make some little inserts to go in here. I don't know. I think it'd be cool if that was a little Smoking Eagles Ride Shop logo. Anyway, I'm going to quit yakking. We're going to have to get a socket to get on this nut so we can start getting the steering wheel off of here. So you're looking at a 15/16 right here. And that's off. I'm going to put a little PB blaster down around here. And this thing has a really small bolt pattern for the old puller. So hopefully I can get my puller in here and make it work. On the one out there in the van in the yard, I only put one bolt in and put it on the end of the shaft there and just smacked the other side with a hammer, and it popped right off. So I really don't want to do that, but I may have to. I'll put the nut back on a few, like most of the way, so that the end of the puller has a big, huge area to rest on there. So this has gotten kind of dumb. Of course, typical fashion, Ford decided to make these fine thread and about an inch longer than the two that I happen to be able to come by. So I went over in the old bin there and I found these that are way too long, and they are not fine thread. They're actually metric. So take that, Ford engineers. So I'm going to put this all the way down, right? And, you know, I got them in there a couple of turns. It's trying to eat the threads out of this steering wheel. So I'm going to be easy on it. But basically, my plan here is to put a little bit of pressure on it, just so, you know, she's got pressure on her there. And then we'll just give her the old tappity tap tap tap, the old dead blow there, and hopefully with a little bit of pressure on it, it'll just pop free, and we won't jack the threads up in the steering column, and we won't break the steering wheel. So there it is, about hand tight. So I'm going to get a wrench on here and put a little bit of pressure on it, and we'll tap while we pull, tap while we pull, and hopefully she'll just, boom, come to her senses. And stupid fine thread crapola. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck. If I strip the threads out in this steering wheel, then we're just done, kids. I ain't trying to go there. Come on. I can't tell if she's sliding off of there or not. I'm gonna put a little more PB on there. Come on. You know you want to pop off of there. When it goes, it's gonna go. That's about as much as I can put on those bolts that are the wrong size. There, it got loose. It may have just popped. We got it! Woohoo! Time for celebration! Yeah! Now the steering wheel was in the right orientation, so we got her. Need to remember that. I'll take a picture with my phone, so when I put her back together, we get it on the right spline. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to jerk this wheel off here and show you what we got down inside. Alright, so here's what we're dealing with. As you can see, she don't do any clicky clicky. The other one does lots and lots of clicky clicky. This plastic tab on this side's broken off and messing up here. Obviously it's got to be in there somewhere, because where else could it have gone? But we need to get all this out of here. Now to get this out of here, we've got a screw here, a screw there, a screw there, and a screw up here. Need to take all of those out. This right here is our little light that lights up our park reverse neutral drive. And that worked really well, so I'm going to keep that bulb because I know it's a good one. And yeah, let's get that all out of there. And we need to take this off. It's got a little flat right here on it. I don't remember what size it is. I'll find out for you and I'll let you know. It just unscrews out of there. Yeah, that one ain't going to just pop right off. And I've got the one out of the other van for this too, because the first thing I did when I got the other van home is I realized that the clicky clicky worked good, so I took the arm off of it so it wouldn't get broken off, and then I wouldn't have this stuff. All right, so I went to get a wrench, and it is super tiny. It's smaller than a 1/4 inch. So went and got the old adjustable wrench, crescent wrench, whatever you want to call it. Took it right off of there. It wasn't very tight. It was just past hand tight. So got that off. And I've got our Phillips screwdriver so I can bust all these screws out. And then I'll show you guys what we got to do down below. Okay, so I've got all our screws removed here, and then I just use a little flat screwdriver or my Phillips screwdriver, put it in there, and you can pop this loose. It just sits right down in here, and sometimes it just kind of needs wiggle loose, but you can see that whole thing is loose there. So then we've got a screw here and a screw here. We're going to pull this cover off, and now we can access everything we need to access. You can see our wires come out right here, and we've got a clip over here. Let me get a light, and we'll get this stuff unhooked. Okay, so down here, I got the light in here, and you can see all we've got is this clip. It's got a little tab on each side. So I can pop that up just a little bit and pull down. It's kind of in a bad spot to work on here. Give it a little encouragement. Give her a little. There we go. Don't break that. Okay, got her unplugged. Now this goes back around to the other side here. So we got it over here, and like I said, I just need to unplug this, and it was real easy out at the other van, probably because it was so hot out there that all the wires and this little clip were basically molten. But yeah, push that in, get it kind of moving, and then I came in here and just started working it out of there like that. Just like so. Got it off of there. We're good there. And now I'm going to pop all these little wires out. Just like the other side. Probably should make sure these are all the same as the other van, but I'm sure they probably are. I don't see how they couldn't be. But I'm going to take a picture of them anyway, because I'm no fool. Now you may be asking me, hey Dustin, why didn't you just cut these off since this one's broken and you don't need it? And then you'll have the color code right next to you and you can just plug the new one back in. Well, that may be a good idea. It's probably 99.9% guaranteed to work just fine. But with my luck, and this is a Ford, I would cut that off and then I would need to reinstall this one because the other one doesn't work or something, who knows. But I'm not destroying it because I may need it. Even though it doesn't seem like that's a scenario, it would be my luck that it would be. Plus, I get a little practice popping this harness apart. Boom, there we go. Got all our wires out of there. This thing should come out of here. Oh, maybe it won't. I gotta get that rubber piece out of there. And then we need to tie a string onto one of these wires and pull this baby up through. So we've got a way to fish our new wires back down in. All right, so got us a little piece of tape on here and some string. And I got my rubber piece off. So now we can just fish this baby right up through there. As you can see, it's already starting to pop out. Right like that. And they are a tight fit. They didn't really want to come out of the other van, but holy crap, that was super easy. Wow. I'm glad that worked so well. So I'm going to untape our string here and clean up our other one and get it ready to install. I got my new harness here. I'm going to tie this string around it, the shortest wire out of them all. I got this thing all cleaned up, so hopefully it won't give us any drama. And I counted the wires. Lucky for us, the original harness had one extra wire. Don't know what it goes to, but we obviously don't need it. Now I'm going to slide this up through here. I tied it with plenty of extra so the string will come out the other side. And this is just a piece of heat shrink. Now, the hole that it needs to go in, it actually has to go through here and then turn it like a 45 and go through a hole that's not round. It's actually oblonged. And so I'm going to get this up in here like this. That is the part that's going to not want to go. There we go. It's not going. So I think I need to wrap some electrical tape around there to make it go to a point, and then if that point goes in, it'll direct it. We just need enough to cover up those ends and make kind of a cone shape here. Once it goes around that corner, we'll be good. I think it's trying. Maybe this needs to be a little smoother around here. You can always put more on Oh, that's not good. My string just fell out. That sucked. That was the big suckage. Guess we're gonna try and fish a coat hanger up through here now to get our string back through so we can attempt another idea. Yay! I screwed that one up. Should have tied a washer to the other end of my string so it wouldn't fit. So, if you forgot to run your string or you dropped yours just like I did, this is going to be how we're going to get our string back up through. So, as you can see, that fits pretty easy. Now, we got to untie this and take our string the other direction. Alright, so, now I got our string taped on there. Hopefully, we can get it back up through. Should be pretty easy. Alright, got our string back up through. I'm going to tie a wrench on one end. Now, it can't pull back up through there again. Although, getting that back down through there wasn't nearly as big a deal as I thought it was going to be. Now, the only problem is not letting it suck it down in that way. But what I'm going to attempt to do now is take all my wires and tape them on this independently. So I'll tape like one here, one back here, one back here, one back here, like that, all the way down until I end up getting all of them, and then I'll start fishing it down through there, and hopefully we can get all the ends out down there, and then we can pull all the slack down through. Once they're all fed through, we'll be good. Alright guys, so I got them taped together in a big long snake, and I'm just kind of fishing them down in. I've almost got them all past the corner, and then I should be good. I'm just kind of pulling on the string a little bit, trying to walk them around that corner, and then when they get hung up, I've been sticking this flat screwdriver down in here and kind of giving them a little bit of encouragement to kind of go around that corner. And that seems to be working. Sometimes I kind of move them a little. Come on, baby, go in now. I think I just got them. Maybe. Let's keep walking them down in. Oh, I can see this end. It's a good sign. Yep, I'm pulling on the wires now. Aha! I got them all. See them down here? Woo! Now all I gotta do is untape this mess and pull all this slack out of here. But the hard part has been defeated. Look at that, this thing will slide right down in here where it wants to be. Look at that. So, that is perfect. Just like that. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on this and a little grease down in here because it looks like it had some at one time, but it don't have none now. And that should keep that turn signal working like it should. And then I've got our rubber piece that I can slide over our wires and slide up in there. So this is our real nice rubber piece. I think I'm gonna slide my wires all the way up through it. This end was in the dash. You can see how it's kind of like ovaled. And then I'm probably going to use my heat gun and heat her up a little bit just to get her a little soft, and then hopefully we can get her to just right up in there where it's supposed to go. It's actually going right up in there. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so now we should be able to get this to line up. Just like that. And put our screws back in. I'm not going to tighten them, I'm just going to get them all started. Make sure everything feels good. All right, guys, so we got it all back together, got those screws snugged up, and then I took my turn signal arm, screwed it in here. Check it out. It clicks now. This thing should work great. Now I'm going to take this arm out so it doesn't get broken off, because I'm not going to put the steering wheel back on just this minute, because I need to get this dash pad and stuff out. But we are going to check and make sure that our light works, because I put our old light bulb back in there and it worked before, so it should work now, especially since I cleaned everything up in there, like the contacts and stuff. Next thing to do is rewire this. So I'm going to pull the picture up on my phone, plug all the wires in. I'm only missing one. It's gray with a black stripe. I assume it's for cruise control or something. I don't know. This one didn't have it, so it obviously doesn't need it. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to plug those all in, and I'll meet you guys back here in just a few seconds. Well, minutes, but... All right, so I got all our wires plugged back in. The only one that I don't have is, again, that gray and black one that goes over here in this corner. Other than that, all the colors matched up perfectly between both vans and both harnesses, blah, 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 blah. So I tossed a little friction tape on here just to protect these wires. I'm going to wrap them up around, plug this baby in, hook the battery back up, and then we'll check stuff and make sure everything we can checks good. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, I got our battery hooked up. Now let's see if we got her figured out. We got our key switch on. Let's turn on our lights. We've got our light right there, so that's good. Let's turn to the right. Ooh, we got a right turn signal. Turn to the left. I can hear it clicking down there. That bulb, something wrong with it. That's on my list of things to get fixed, but if we peek out here, I can see her flashing on the wall right in there. So that's good. Let's turn our hazards on. We got the fast flash there, so our hazards are good. Man, I am stoked on this. Let's check our horn. It's this little button right here. When you put your steering wheel on, it just grounds out when you hit the button. Horn's good. Yeah, the only thing I got left to do is put the little plastic piece on here with 2 screws, put my steering wheel back on, make sure the orientation is correct, plug in a couple of wires and put those 2 screws in the back. I'm sure you guys can handle that since you followed along with me and we tore it all apart together. I've got confidence in you. Man, I am stoked. Now people won't think I'm turning left all the time, and they'll quit telling me I'm number 1, although I do appreciate it. Yeah, this is awesome. I've been dealing with this ever since I started driving this van. I'm gonna unscrew this out of here just so I don't break it off while I do this dash pad. That's gonna be my next video. I'm pretty sure this is the same on a bunch of years of the 3rd gen Ford E150, 250, and 350 vans. Probably the trucks too. I don't know, I'm not a big Ford guy, so I can't tell you exactly what all vehicles they put this steering column in, but I'm guessing it's a bunch of vehicles. Now, I did look on Amazon. You can buy this part. It's like 35 bucks or whatever. I'll put a link to it in our description in case you need to go get one because you don't have a super sweet parts van or truck or whatever to steal from. Yeah, guys, this is awesome. I got to get on this dash pad. So, don't forget, we got merch available on our website. Hats, t-shirts, all kinds of cool stuff. And we've got a huge Facebook group. Well, I mean, it's not huge yet, but it will be once you get there. My buddy Josh just posted a 2-piece GM transmission. Never saw one of those before. I think it's custom or something. I don't know. You guys got to go check it out. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Till next time, keep on wrenching. Peace.